with another run. Swinging a high drive, right center field. He leans on this, baby. That one's gone. Buehler Abreu to touch them all. A 2-run shot.
Welcome to a late night edition of Monster Territory, brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Man, oh man, it is late here on the East Coast. Thank you for joining me here tonight, or if you're listening in the morning, that's probably the more realistic thing for this one here tonight, but a good night for the Red Sox here tonight. A lot of offense here, 10 runs total on the board here tonight, going up against an old friend in Nick Pivetta. You got to love it here. And Don Ursillo as well. I mean, I'm always going to love Don Ursillo. Anytime I got a chance to listen to Don Ursillo, I'm absolutely going to take that chance. But tonight, the Red Sox offense, this was the story. Big fourth inning for the Red Sox tonight. Buehler Abreu continuing to do a lot of damage this year. 21st home run on the year. Great defense as well from Buehler in the first inning. And but you know, I think the big talking point here, ladies and gentlemen, the legend of Connor Wong continues to grow. Connor Wong, you are starting to see this man wake up. Remember last year, first half, he was doing pretty well. And then he just kind of fell off in the second half. But then, all of a sudden, Connor Wong, after a dreadful first half, people are just asking for this guy to please. They were willing to drive him to the airport if that's what it took. But all of a sudden, the bats come alive for Connor Wong here, having himself a pretty solid night overall. I mean, the man doubled his RBI total tonight. That's just absolutely amazing. How about Masataka Yoshida? How about that? Big night from Massa here. Second home run, had a double, 3 RBIs on the night for him. Roman Anthony doing very well at the leadoff spot tonight. Alex Bregman getting in on the action here. You got to love it. You got to love it. You got to love it. How about Walker Buehler as well? Walker Buehler, I think you could say his best start. Well, I don't know. That's debatable, right? He had a very good start against the Phillies, one of the best teams in baseball. He went 7 innings, 1 earned, but first scoreless outing of the year for Walker Buehler. You got to go all the way back to last year. I think at the beginning of the year last year, or at least when he first came back last year with the Dodgers. It's been a while since Walker Buehler's had a scoreless outing. We'll dive into his start here tonight. We do have an update on Carlos Narvaez. He's been dealing with a bit of a knee in the last few days here. We do have an update there. He actually gave an update himself. It's positive, looking good. We even got something on Justin Slayton as well. Justin Slayton looks like he's starting to maybe get towards going on a rehab assignment, or however they want to do that. Things are looking great right now for the Red Sox. I'm seeing a lot of you filing on in here for the post-game show. You are all absolutely insane in a good way. It is 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. We'll make this sweet and short and sweet here tonight. We'll keep it tidy. I know a lot of you want to go to bed, and maybe some of you are on the West Coast. I mean, hey, it's still, 10 p.m. where you are on the West Coast, or wherever you may be. Thank you for coming out here. It is a late one for us here on the East Coast. If you can, just do one thing for me. Just hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 5K by the end of the season. We're almost there. We're about 500 subscribers away. A little more. We're pretty close. Let's get there. I think we could absolutely get there by the end of the season. So thank you, everyone, for all of your support. Let's get into this one tonight. I'm trying not to fall asleep over here. I'm going to be honest. This is way past my bedtime. Anytime I do the post-game shows, just a little thing. Sometimes I do stay up a little late, but I'm usually grandpa mode. I am out before midnight. I know that's not exactly the earliest, but still, I mean, this is way past the time I usually fall asleep. And even if I do stay up late, I'm pretty much dozing off, just doom scrolling on Twitter anyway. So this is a late one for me here tonight. Let's get to the offense first. Let's dive into this here. Nick Pivetta, he was looking pretty solid there in the first few innings. Only give up a walk, a couple of hits, but the Red Sox were starting to get the bat on the ball with him in the second inning, and I was wondering, could that maybe be a sign of things to come here? And fourth inning, second time through the order, they woke up, they figured him out. I mean, you got to think they already had a pretty good game plan against Pivetta. I mean, they've obviously seen the guy for how many years now, right? Pitching for us, obviously. But You got to think, right? Andrew Bailey, he was with him last year. I mean, if there's a team that's ever going to have an advantage, it's going to be the Boston Red Sox here in 2025. But big fourth inning there. Bregman with a base hit. Duran, Story getting on with the walks. Bases loaded. Massa, we'll get to the home run with Massa here in a little bit, but he really got into one there on the sac fly over 360 feet out to center field. Put a good swing on the ball. He looked like he had his good swing there tonight, obviously, with what we ended up seeing. But you saw it early on there. Sac fly made it 1-0. Pivetta had a bad pickoff throw. Duran ended up scoring there. So Pivetta was looking a little rattled. That made it 2-0. And then Buehler with the big drive, hanging curveball, made it 4-0. You can't hang curveballs to this Red Sox team. They are going to absolutely wreck breaking pitches that are hung in the zone. I need to dig into those numbers. The Red Sox have been very good against breaking pitches this year. And then in the fifth inning, Connor Wong, Roman with the base hit. Wong ended up moving over to third base there. Bregman with the ground out. That scored Wong. That made it 5-0. And then they had a big eighth inning. This bullpen tonight for the Padres. I mean, the entire pitching staff was just dreadful for the Padres here tonight. Sean Reynolds, he came in. Toro, Buehler, Seti, each getting on with a walk. And then Connor Wong, the legend of Connor Wong, continues to grow. Ladies and gentlemen, bases clearing double. He had 2 RBIs coming into the night, and he got 3 RBIs here tonight. He more than doubled his RBI total. Just saying, man. Just saying. Connor Wong, man. MVP votes? Maybe? Maybe. Roman with the walk. Bregman hit by pitch. I'm kidding. I'm that's sarcasm, just in case no one picked up on that one. Connor Wong, I love you, my friend. Jarren Duran had the pop up to short right. Unfortunately, Connor Wong, he couldn't just stay out of his own way, couldn't he? He had the great moment there, and he just had to get himself caught in something here. Duran with the pop up to short right. Cronenworth, he went back at second to catch it. He went a little into right field to catch it. He threw it in. Arise cut it off. Threw it to third. Wong, he was stuck in no man's land. Ended up getting thrown out. So it is what it is. Connor Wong, you can't be perfect every single time here, ladies and gentlemen. Ninth inning. The Padres, they ended up scoring a couple there in the eighth. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Massa with a 2-run home run there to make it 10-2. Great night for Massa overall here. Let me pull up the final line for Masataka Yoshida. He went 2 for 4, 3 RBIs tonight. Overall, just a lot of good offense here tonight. 10 hits overall. Only 4 strikeouts for the Red Sox here on the night. They did fantastic. Taking a look at, funny enough, the Red Sox, they only went 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They had multiple opportunities to do more damage than they did here tonight, believe it or not. But overall, even though the Red Sox, they ended up leaving 8 on base, 2 for 12. They had 10 more chances with runners in scoring position. In the end, they still found a way to score 10 runs. So you got to love that. Before we get to Walker Buehler here, we're going to dive into his start. I actually thought his start was very interesting tonight. I was noticing it as we were going on throughout his outing here. And when I looked at the final numbers after, I was like, oh, okay, my mind was not deceiving me. I'll get to that in just a little bit. Everybody, if you can, just hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new here for the first time. Before we get to Walker Buehler, though, we're going to get to tonight's sponsor. We'll be right back.
It's summertime, it's bathing suit time, and it's time to get a better bathing suit liner. It's 2025, Kratz. I would like to feel more comfortable, and I would like to thank Fair Harbor for doing that.
It's super easy. Get the Fair Harbor Breeze Knit liner in your shorts. You can go play football on the beach. You can play paddleball. And you don't got to worry about that crappy liner that other bathing suits have.
It is so comfortable. You got to check it out. I'm telling you, it's like butter, baby. You got to check out the Fair Harbor, not only bathing suits, but they carry a full line of casual clothing, shorts, shirts, hoodies. Go to the website, fairharborclothing.com/foul. and use code FOUL for 20% off your first purchase. That's fair, HARBOR clothing.com/foul for 20% off your first purchase And make sure that you use the FT promo code so that they know we sent you and you get the discount, FOUL.
On to Walker Buehler, shall we? Walker Buehler, very good night for him tonight. 96 pitches overall, a ton of four-seamers tonight. Holy cow, Walker Buehler threw a lot of four-seamers tonight. He went 47% with the four-seam fastball tonight. That's compared to a 23% usage on the season. Huge uptick in the fastballs tonight. Fastball looked great, too. Had some good life on it tonight, I thought. It looked pretty good. You go back to his 2021 season, it was really the last good season he had before he ran into the couple of Tommy Johns. But the big pitch for him that year was the four-seam fastball. You know, when he had that going on, you could just see where he was able, to line up using his secondaries after that. It was just able to help him, set him up for just good outings constantly. The four-seamer is a key pitch for Walker Buehler, and that's why, you've looked at all the past starts over this season so far, where it just seems like he's trying to figure out something that's going to work, right? It's like one outing he's going with this pitch leading the way. Another outing he's going with the sinker. Or he's going with the cutter. Whatever it may be. He finally found a pitch. Let's see if the old fastball is going to come back here with Buehler. Now, you're probably not going to see the same velo that we've seen in the past with him, but if he can just use it effectively, hit his spots, get a little bit of life on it, hopefully he can keep that one going here. Let's see. Curveball, very sharp tonight. He got 4 whiffs on the curveball. A lot of weak contact as well. 85 mile per hour exit velo average on the night. Just a great night for Walker Buehler. Throwing a good amount of strikes as well. He was in and out of the zone for the most part. Good night. But again, the highlight for me, for Buehler, it kind of just reminded you of the old Walker Buehler, just using the fastball, right? Not just, not a sinker, not a cutter, but the good old four-seamer. Let's see if he keeps using that. He obviously looked very comfortable with that tonight. The bullpen. They ran into a little bit of trouble, but that's okay. They had a lot of run support. Greg Weisser to give up a base hit, a walk to a rise in the 7th. Chris Murphy, a tough 8th for him here tonight. He only got 1 out. He walked Johnson, Iglesias, O'Hearn. Laureano had the ground out. They made it 8-1. Cronenworth with the base hit. They made it 8-2. He walked Elias Diaz with Fernando Tatis coming up. You're thinking, okay, you got the bases loaded. Yeah, 6-run lead, but you're not feeling too comfy with that. They brought in Whitlock. He got Tatis on the strikeout. He got a rise to fly out as well. And then they brought in Isaiah Campbell, getting the 8-run save, Mr. Isaiah Campbell tonight. So overall, great night for the Red Sox here. Bullpen, a little messy. It's all right. It's all right. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Whitlock looking great, looking sharp. So overall, this offense, fantastic here tonight. Great pitching from Walker Buehler. What else could you want here? What else could you want here? We have a super chat coming in. Dylan, $4.99. With Campbell and the password getting reps at first, do you see Casas getting traded in the offseason? Maybe in a package with Yoshida. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me pull this up here on the screen so the people at home can see. I don't think... never say never, of course, right? You never know how things are going to go, especially when it goes to, comes to the offseason, trade deadline. I don't think Casas is going to get moved, though. I think just because of the injury he had, I don't think teams are going to want to take I think they would like to see him play first. So I don't think Casas is going to be going anywhere. As for Masataka Yoshida, though, we'll see. I mean, listen, this offseason, we all heard about this outfield surplus for this year, right? I do think at some point this offseason, it's going to get addressed. Obviously, let the good times roll right now. It's working. These guys are clicking. It's not a problem right now. But you just wonder from a front office point of view where you're looking at the value of some of these players where, you can use one of these guys possibly to help, maybe land some more pitching or whatever it may be. But then again, you could also look at Yoshida, right? Obviously, good night for Yoshida here tonight. But you look at a possible situation where if they could move him, could you still see a scenario next year where if the DH spot is freed up, could you still make this, this rotation work with Duran, with Wilyer, with Roman, with Seti? So you wonder if that spot is cleared, maybe that ends up being something they would like to just hang on to. We'll see. It's a possibility. But then you also wonder, too, what are the Red Sox going to do in free agency? Are they going to go after a guy like Kyle Schwarber? Or are they going to try and bring him back to Boston? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to end up doing here. We'll see. I mean, that's still a ways away. But with Massa, of course, the one thing you got to pay attention to with him when it comes to any trade is how much of the contract are they going to have to eat? It is an underwater contract at the end of the day. It's just the way it is when it comes to the good old baseball economics. They're going to have to pay some of that down. And, is the team going to be wanting to bring him on? I don't know. Maybe the Padres. Yoshida coming into tonight had over an 800 OPS at Petco Park. Ended up hitting a home run and a double here tonight. Maybe AJ Preller sees, maybe Masu would be a pretty good Padre. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think Casas is going to get moved. I think Yoshida for sure could get moved. So we will see about that. But we are going to get to the Game 2 preview here. We're going to get to the Game 2 preview. And for tomorrow, interesting matchup. And taking a look here at the pitching matchup, we got Lucas Giolito, who's been great as of late, but going up against Michael King. This is going to be Michael King's first start in a little while. Michael King had been dealing with a shoulder issue for the last little bit here. I believe with Michael King, it was back in May. So he's been out here for almost a few months. So let's see how that's going to go for him tomorrow. I don't know. Is there going to be a little bit of rust with him? And as for Giolito, he's been pitching great as of late. Let's go take a look at the numbers here with Giolito over his last few starts. Overall, 3.57 ERA over the 17 starts. He looked great against Houston his last time out. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 4 Ks. Guy was hitting his spots. He was looking great. Giolito has been fantastic the last couple of starts, so I have no worries about him. He is more of a fly ball pitcher-friendly park at Petco Park. I like the matchup there with Lucas Giolito. However, when it comes to matchups, one guy I got my eye on for tomorrow is a guy that I think could do some damage against Michael King. And that brings us to our DraftKings player spotlight. Alrighty, let's get to it here. So, when it comes to the Red Sox and the Padres for tomorrow here on DraftKings, let's take a look here. So, as you can see, money line, Red Sox are at plus 128. The Padres are at minus 156. For the run line, the Red Sox are at plus 1.5, minus 173. And for the Padres, minus 1.5 at plus 141. But the man that I have my eyes on is Mr. Jarren Duran. That is our player spotlight here tonight for DraftKings. Jarren Duran has been red hot as of late. Overall in the year, coming into tonight, hitting 264 with a 329 on base, a 463 on the slugging, a 114 WRC plus, 12 homers, just at about a 3.0 Fangraph wins above replacement. Taking a look at Duran here over the last 30 games, hitting 299, has a 654 on the slugging. Over his last 7 games, has a couple of homers, hitting 296 with a 630 on the slugging. And checking out what Duran did here tonight. Overall, he went 1 for 4 here tonight, had a walk as well. But I'm looking at Mr. Michael King, right? Just talked about how he's been dealing with a shoulder issue, hasn't pitched since May. Could there be a little bit of rust? And hey, with Jarren Duran, he just so happens to have a home run against Michael King in his career. Over 7 ABs, has a couple of RBIs there, hitting 286 with a 1,000 OPS. So I got my eyes on Jarren Duran, who has seen Michael King well in the past. Combine that with, who knows, maybe a little bit of rust coming back from a shoulder issue. I think it's a pretty good matchup here for Jarren Duran. But everybody, go try it out for yourself. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. I'll be right back.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Alrighty, let's get to the Carlos Narvaez news. So we have a little update on Carlos Narvaez. He was talking here before the game, asked about how his knee was doing, said he's feeling way better today, did all the defense work. He threw, he blocked, he received, he swung the bat a little bit, feels way better, no pain at all. Hopefully, I'll be good, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. So, with Narvaez, man, this is a career high in just workload for him. It's such a demanding position. I have so much respect for the catchers in the game. And, sure, we could say what we will about Connor Wong for, this entire season. But shout out Connor Wong, too, man. At least he's been the one thing about Wong, right, is he knows the pitching staff. He's been doing all right defensively back there. Not anything, crazy by any means, but Connor Wong, he's been able to, and as of late, he's been able to pick up Carlos Narvaez here, so nice to see that. But yeah, with Narvaez, I'm not really expecting anything major here. Just, these guys, it's August. This is the dog days of August. I say, hey, while Wong is hot, why not just take advantage of that hot bat with Connor Wong here? He's been hitting pretty well. I think right now he picked a great time to step up. So it's going to give Narvaez a little bit more time to, get his feet under him, get his knees feeling all right, get his body feeling right. Go take a couple extra ice baths, go do some stretching, do whatever you got to do to start feeling good. But Carlos Narvaez, not really worried about him. We also got here Justin Slayton. Remember, he's been dealing with a shoulder issue himself. He threw a bullpen. Well, it is now yesterday. We are in the wee hours of August 9th. But yesterday, August 8th, he did throw another bullpen session, has another one scheduled for August 11th. After that, he might be able to face live hitters, which would be the last step before going on a rehab assignment. Now, with Justin Slayton, it's kind of funny because, we've been looking at this bullpen and, we looking at guys like Jordan Hicks, right? Who's been really struggling as of late. You just saw, I know Chris Murphy's a lefty, but still, some guys, Greg Weissert, right? It's been a little bit since he's been up and down here for a couple of months. It's going to be nice to get Justin Slayton back in this bullpen. Slayton, he had his own ups and downs this year, but we know what this guy can do. He's got the good velo. He's got the good stuff. When this guy's on, he's a huge piece in your bullpen. So that'd be great to get him back, especially for the last month. I say, man, do not rush this guy back. Get him feeling good. Bullpen can hold its own until then. Get him for September. You have him for October. Justin Slayton could end up being a huge piece for the Red Sox to get back soon. But everybody, I am going to wrap it up right there. It is late. It is bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. I don't know how some of you actually stay up this late. I don't get it. It's funny because with me, I used to be the night owl. I used to be a guy. I would go work out at like 2, 3 in the morning. That's a fun fact about me. going back to my early college days. I was going to Anytime Fitness at like 2 a.m. doing, heavy squats and bench. I can't do that now. I go to the gym way earlier now. Sometimes I even go in the mornings. My goodness. I don't know how some of you stay up this late. I don't understand it. I feel like I'm falling asleep right now. But thank you for coming out here tonight. Really do appreciate that. To see all of you coming out here during the wee hours, it really means a lot. It's really cool for all of you to just show your support, even when it's late and past my bedtime. But everybody, we do have an earlier game tomorrow. I believe that's at 8:30 tomorrow. I believe. Yeah, I think it's 8:30 tomorrow. 8:30, 8:40. Can't remember the time, but we'll be back here tomorrow night. It will be a little earlier, so not as bad. And then we got the 4 o'clock game on Sunday. So we made it past tonight. We'll be okay. Julio, good for you, living in San Fran. This is easy for you. It's not even your bedtime yet. Everybody, it is my bedtime, though. I'm out of here. Go enjoy the rest of whatever is left of your night and the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.